Unless you've been living under a rock, or perhaps deep in the Disney bubble, you probably know that Universal Studios Florida is hard at work developing its largest, most ambitious project ever, Epic Universe. This is a big deal. The park is larger than the entire current footprint of Universal Studios Florida, and boasts a number of hotels as well as lands based on some of the most popular IPs in their Rolodex. Universal Monsters, How to Train Your Dragon, Illumination, more Harry Potter, and Super Nintendo. So if you think Disney shouldn't be worried about this, you're wrong. But don't fret. Disney knows this, and they're surely cooking up something big, right? Well, looking back at D23 2022 all the way back in December, they certainly didn't mention anything big that they're cooking up. Be sure to refer back to our previous videos on D23, by the way. We go deep into the blue sky announcements for some big expansions to the existing parks. But one question everyone seems to have since the announcement of Epic Universe, which is set to open in 2025, is whether or not Disney will respond by opening another park itself. Sure, there is historical precedent for this. After all, Hollywood Studios was opened in response to Universal Studios Florida. But times have changed, and timely events have changed how Disney and other major corporations spend their money. I just don't think Disney is looking to invest the amount of money required to open a whole new gate that can compete with Epic Universe. Instead, I think Disney will strengthen the quality of the parks it already has, and make them more enticing to tourists on the fence. That being said, with constant price increases and Disney charging for amenities that were free as recently as 2019, it's hard to deny that many dedicated, loyal Disney fans are at least considering giving Universal, SeaWorld, even Legoland, and other competitors a chance. Funny enough, the first video I ever recorded for this channel was back in 2022 after I got home from a trip to Orlando in which I went to Islands of Adventure. The topic of the video was how you can incorporate Disney into your Orlando vacation if you're not able to go into the parks. I went into Disney Springs, the Disney Character Warehouse, at the outlets, and other stuff like that. But really, in the video, I just gushed about how much fun Islands of Adventure was. Of course, that video never saw the light of day, but I have always wanted to work that idea into a future video. For the purpose of this video, I want to briefly mention how my opinion of Universal has changed over the past 3 years. I went to Universal Studios Florida as a child, and I really don't remember it much and was too scared to ride anything. But I went back on a dedicated trip to the resort in 2019 where I visited Islands of Adventure, Universal Studios, and I rode pretty much everything that was available at the time. I had a great time with Revenge of the Mummy and the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. The Mummy is a fantastic roller coaster with top-notch storytelling and theming, while the Wizarding World is a landmark accomplishment in immersive experiences. Aside from that, I was quite sour on the resort as a whole. I considered it second-rate compared to Disney, especially with many of the rides being overly reliant on screens and 3D glasses. But I decided to go back in February of 2022, just spending one day at Islands of Adventure. I was able to ride Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, which is way too long of a name, and the new Velocicoaster in the Jurassic Park/Jurassic World land. These rides really turned me around on the park, and I had an amazing time. They are a sign that Universal is listening to feedback on screen-based attractions and are working hard to bring fans new experiences that they will love. Don't get me wrong, I still think Disney is superior, but the gap between the two is becoming thinner, and Epic Universe is going to bring them even closer in comparisons. So, would a fifth park be a solution to this? You know, if we took money out of the equation and pretended Disney could do this with the snap of a Thanos finger. Yeah, it probably would be a solution. Looking at the Disney parks now, one of the biggest issues is crowds. To cut down on crowds, Disney has been raising their prices. This discourages some from coming while giving those who do come less of a crowd to deal with. It's a logical idea. Figure, why have 100 people spend $10 when you can have 10 people spend $100? With a smaller amount of people spending more, crowds are reduced. But a fifth park would also alleviate crowd issues, especially if new hotels are not built. This way, the maximum capacity of the resort remains the same, but the number of places for the guests to go increases. Imagine if 10,000 people are packed into Magic Kingdom, but if we clone Magic Kingdom, that would have the number of people in each of the Magic Kingdoms. That's the logic here. On top of that, a new park would bring massive publicity to Disney parks, easily eclipsing Epic Universe, since Disney is more prevalent in global pop culture. So if a fifth gate was announced tomorrow to open in 2025, Epic Universe would have a tougher time getting into the news, in my opinion. But Disney is not making a fifth park, at least I doubt they are. So what will Epic Universe mean for Walt Disney World? If Disney begins on the actual execution of some of the blue sky imaginations we heard of at D23, and if they are complete by 2025, I think Disney will safely keep their loyal guests and once-in-a-lifetime guests for the immediate future. Just imagine being a Disney fan who wants to skip one of their favorite Disney World trips, a family tradition maybe, to go see Epic Universe. But Disney just said a Villain's Land will be open. You're probably not going to want to miss the Villain Land. If they do not complete these expansions, however, and all we get is a few new rides and a rethemed Splash Mountain, I think it might spell some trouble. No, obviously I don't mean Disney goes bankrupt and shutters the resort. I just mean that a large number of vacationers will decide to turn one of their Disney trips into a Universal trip, or at least half of the trip into half a Universal trip. This would not be a big deal usually. 1 year at Universal, then back to Disney, right? Wrong. Because if Universal offers these visitors an amazing experience, especially if it's at a better value, these visitors will likely want to go back. I'm not necessarily suggesting that many loyal Disney fans like myself will convert to Universal fans, though that is a possibility for some. But I would not be surprised if many of the frequent Disney World vacationers start to divide some of those trips with Universal, alternating the two. This is all just speculation. We still don't even know how epic Epic Universe will be. On the brighter side, there is a different way to look at this. Universal's success will push Disney to be more competitive and up its game. Competition is not a bad thing in my opinion. Also, if Universal draws in new Orlando visitors, many will likely visit Disney World as well. But what do you think? Does Disney World need a fifth gate? If they did make one, what would it even be? Maybe all Marvel, if they get those rights in order? Let me know in the comments. If you like this video, be sure to give us a like and subscribe for future content. We also have Instagram and Twitter, you can follow those to never miss a new video. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.